Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you to all students, graduating students of CVV who joined this meeting to know more about YEP. I will tell you less about YEP, but I will tell you about one of the most dynamic people in the Chinmaya mission. Swami is in the Chinmaya mission, who has run YEP for at least, Swamiji, if I'm right, for 4 or 5 years now.
In the beginning, 12 batches.
Okay, 12 batches. Okay.
I was there with Swamiji from the beginning.
Okay, my apologies. Yes. So Swamiji has been running the youth empowerment program for over 12 years now. Obviously, during COVID, there was a slight lag in not having the batches. Now Swamiji is launching one again. The reason why I call Swamiji dynamic is, as a youngster, he got inspired by Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmananji, and as a youngster was very actively involved in the Chinmaya Yuva Kendra and then Chinmaya Mission in Chennai, and went on to do the Vedanta course in Mumbai, Sandipani, and has been posted to Mumbai pretty much ever since. So Swamiji is a very dynamic teacher. Being in Mumbai, he's also had the unique privilege and responsibility of conducting countless corporate workshops on many things, on many aspects, everything from leadership to success to this thing, and also to address sometimes the HR departments or the incoming batches of various corporate companies. Besides that, Swamiji has a very heavy schedule of teaching in Mumbai and outside, and his teaching is widely sought out by youth. I have been privileged to know several youngsters who have done the Youth Empower program. In fact, for some of you who may know, Brahmacharini Tarini Chaitanya, who used to be Sumedha Kulkarni in CVV, is a YEP graduate. Likewise, Shrikant in admin and Shrikant in media are also YEP graduates. And I think there is one or two more, which at the moment the names miss me. But CVV has been very fortunate in getting some of the best UAVs to join us. UAV, the Youth Empowerment Program, in the way I see it from the point of view of what they call a client, is that we get very dynamic youngsters who learn a lot of things that people should have learned in college, but have gone on to learn it in the Youth Empowerment Program. Thank you, Tariniji, for reminding me. Srinath Mohandas ji, one of our faculty, is also a former Youth Empowerment Program graduate. So with that, I will not take much, because I think when you listen to Swamiji, you will see a lot of what I have said. And with that, Swamiji, may I hand it over to you so that you can take it from here.
Thank you, Sundarji. Thank you, Anilji, and the entire team at Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth. I'm very glad to have this opportunity, and welcome to all the graduates who have completed your study at Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth and who have joined us today. This is a very unique program that Chinmaya Mission and Chinmaya Yuva Kendra conducts. So, Youth Empowerment Program, we started in 2003, and it was born from the vision of Puja Gurudev himself, where he had written a letter to Trilokinathji, who was in Siddhabari, mentioning that if we have youngsters whom we can train and they can serve in the field, it would be good for them, it would be good for the Hindu culture, for our country, as well as for Chinmaya Mission itself. So he wanted to conduct this just like he did a Vedant course, but somehow it didn't materialize. Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, of course, was very dynamic in his times. So we conceptualized this from the vision of Puja Gurudev. I remember a nice story that Puja Guruji used to tell us, that there was once a satsang that was going on, and Gautam Buddha was taking that satsang. And as the satsang progressed, a person felt very sleepy. So the person dozed. So Buddha looked at him and he asked, "Are you sleeping?" He says, "No, no, no, no." Again, after some time, he tried very hard, but he dozed. Again, Buddha said, "Are you sleeping?" He says, "No, no, no." And he tried to sit erect, and he tried his best to hold his breath for some time, but he was so exhausted the whole day. He had worked hard, and so he needed rest. So again, third time he went. And Buddha said, "Are you alive?" He says, "No, no, 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 no." And Buddha said, "By mistake, you gave the right answer." Think about it. Just because we have a human body and we are living, does it mean we are alive? What is it to be alive to the potentials that each one of us has? How much potential everyone has? Gurudev used to say, in the West, a genius is an accident, but in the East, we know the science and technology of how to produce a genius, how to make a person manifest the potential. So we can live our life, a whole life can pass away without realizing our potential and without manifesting it. Sometimes we may realize our potential, but we still live in a shell and we don't manifest that potential. And that's why it is said that natural resources, when we consume them, they get depleted. But human resources get depleted when we don't consume them. So much power, so much mental energies, so much talent, skills, potential, knowledge is there in each one. How to manifest it? Many of you, all of you, in fact, here, the students who are there, you have studied at Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth. You know the blend that happens of the secular education and the spiritual knowledge, and why it is so important and how it makes a big difference in our life. One can live a life pursuing certain goals, pursuing certain material prosperity, pursuing certain relationships, having a family, etc., and nothing wrong with that. But why should I do this? What is the reason behind it? How can I go through this in a way where my relationships remain harmonious, where I can become a productive member of the society? How can I ensure that I anchor myself and face the challenges of life without getting shattered? All this requires a tremendous spiritual knowledge, anchoring, and that is what we try to understand and do in the youth empowerment program. The word youth, just because somebody is 20, 25 years old, doesn't make that person young. Biologically, yes, one is young. But who is young, really speaking? In the Taittiriya Upanishad, beautiful description is there. Yuva syat sadhu, a person who is good, who is anchored in good values, who is adhyayakaha, who is curious to learn, to know, is in a mode of gaining knowledge every day, learning, being open to receiving, innovating. Yuva syat sadhu, yuva adhyayakaha, ashishtaha, has great qualities, anchored in good character. One lives the values in practice, in one's behavior. Ashishtaha, dridhishtaha, very determined. No matter what obstacles come, one will achieve the goals. One has that sattvic dhriti, that fortitude not to give up, to persist and achieve one's goals. Physical goals, emotional goals, financial goals, social goals, intellectual, spiritual, different types of goals. When we have goals in our life, then we are alive, we are youth. Otherwise, the life without a goal is a directionless life. What do I want to do with my life? Why am I here? What is the purpose of life? When many times one asks, what is the purpose of life? Some people answer to know the purpose is the purpose of life. How can to know the purpose be the purpose of whole life? One has to quickly know the purpose of life and apply it, achieve it. So what is the purpose? Why am I here? That knowledge is very important. The macro picture of what is life meant for. When our culture says artha, kama, dharma, and moksha, attain security, wealth, prosperity, that is the first purusharth. Enjoy in life. When I pursue my goals, I attain prosperity, I enjoy that whole process, and I enjoy the result. How to do that so that I don't get stressed out? Where I'm able to perform as per my core temperament. So a youth is one who knows who one is made for. What one is made for, sorry. What is my swadharma? Why have I chosen a particular field? So many Yuva Veers who have taken up different fields, when they have come, they have been able to understand why they have chosen that field. Some people have been able to improve their performance and their satisfactions because they have gone through the program. Some of them, they really understood that, oh, they made a choice out of some external pressure, maybe financial pressure, family pressure, peer pressure, but their heart lies somewhere else. So this youth empowerment program gave them that opportunity to explore and identify that. So artha, prosperity, kama, enjoyment, and doing both this with dharma, anchoring in the values, duties, having that strength not to compromise. And finally, when one has seen enough in life, one even aspires for moksha. Our culture gives us the purpose very clearly, that no matter what we do, the main purpose is we want to live happily at all times. Paramananda Prapti is our purpose. So right from that fundamental clarity onwards, that why am I here, what is the purpose, one who has that clarity, that person is alive. That person sets the right goals in life. Gurudev used to tell us that goals in life are different for each person. And for the same person at different times, one seeks different goals. You have finished your graduation, so some of you may pursue further study, some of you may join some company, take up a full-time job. Some people may take up an internship, get some experience for some further for further studies or a job. So each one has certain goals at certain times. Sometimes one needs to clear an exam, sometimes one needs to take a job, sometimes one has to marry, has a family, has to take care of the family. So goals in life will keep changing. But what is the goal of life? That clarity one who has. So a youth and a alive youth is one who is good, yuva, sadhu, adhyayakaha, who is studious, who wants to learn, not just from books, from so many other experiences, from people, from various things in life. Ashishtaha, anchored in values. Dridhishtaha, very firm, determined to achieve one's goals, having the clarity of goals in life, goal of life. Balishtaha is very strong physically, mentally. Today, don't we find that small things can stress us out? Small things make us feel, oh God, there is so much to achieve. How will I be able to do this? We lose our confidence. Many times inefficiency, incompetency is all because of our underestimation of ourselves. We don't know what are our talents, what are our potentials, and we only focus on the so-called negatives and what is lacking in us. Youth empowerment is to shift the focus. Whatever negatives are there, we need to overcome them. We need to ensure that we transform from the negative to positive, but our focus in life has to increase on the positive aspects. That will make us feel confident. So Balishta, a young person, is someone who's physically strong and mentally confident, intellectually very clear. Youth empowerment program, the schedule, the way it is organized is such that there is yoga which is there are exercises which one does, There are various things where we take up, like travel or certain difficult, even physical tasks. Sometimes one takes up like a marathon, one runs like a relay marathon, where one runs some 1,000 kilometers in a relay. So many challenges we take up to make ourselves physically fit and strong. There are games, there are sports, a lot of things happen. Then to improve our confidence, to improve our courage, there are various adventure activities. There is knowledge that is there. There is public speaking, which is there. So we overcome our fears, we overcome our negativities. People from different parts of the world come together, stay together, interact with each other. So one builds those skills of, the PR skills, the skills where one handles the teams. There are teams which are made, group projects which are taken up. It may appear it is similar to a college, but it is not, because there is an environment of freedom. There's an environment of challenging oneself, and there is spiritual guidance at the base of all that. So one develops confidence, one comes to break out of one's shell, one's fears, one's inhibitions. One lives together. 3 months, one stays together in one place. There's a Gurukul type of an environment. And together one learns, grows, supports each other. So all that makes a person very strong and independent. Many young people have not been away from their home, have always been in a sheltered environment. So youth empowerment program can also give that opportunity, especially after COVID. Some of you may have experienced that challenge because your college life may have gone in online sessions at home. So maybe you have not had enough opportunities to interact. You may have had some opportunities, no doubt. So here again, there's an opportunity where one lives alone. One learns to be independent. That itself is a great learning. One has to manage everything by oneself. There is no helper. There is nobody to, do something for me. I have to do for myself, and I can help others also. So Ashishtaha, Dridhishtaha, Balishtaha, Tasyayam Sarvavittasya Purnasyat. Prithvi Sarvavittasya Purnasyat. How to be resourceful. How to make the best with what resources I have and produce brilliant results. There are many activities, games, projects, where we do all these things, where using limited talent, limited resources, what we have, something extraordinary can come out. So many Yuva Veers have taken part in doing massive work, like the Quest movie when it was made on Puja Gurudev's life. Right from scripting onwards, the Yuva Veers have been involved. When books are written, so many creative books that Chinmaya Yogakendra brought out, the Yuva Veers have brought out. Ram, the man of Treta Yuga, Gita for Yuva, Bhaj Govindam for Yuva, Drop, like that. People who did not know they have capabilities to write, their talents have come out. The people who didn't know that they can act, they have acted in theater plays, raised funds for many social service projects. Even for the Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth. So when we see this, what the youth empowerment program can do, it can make us really alive. So the first part of the program is that, where 3 months one gets trained in fundamentals of Vedanta, in Hindu culture, because one is to empower ourselves. In 3 months, we empower ourselves. We study, we learn, we go through a disciplined schedule, we travel across the country, learn from different aspects about what our country's glory is, what it is to be anchored in Indian value system and Indian way of thinking. We meet different people, we get exposed to certain types of social service, etc. So exposure is given to different aspects. Chinmaya Organization for Rural Development is there. So much human service is happening through that. So one part of the course in the 3 months is where you get exposed to that. One part is where one travels. There is learning from different parts of the country, visiting temples, taking part in some yatras, organizing some camps. Various things are done. One part is where one stays in a place, learns from various other teachers. Different acharyas will come teach about spiritual aspects, management aspects, leadership aspects. Then there are other faculties who will come, who will tell us about psychology, about public speaking, about team building, about culture, about the present scenario in the country and what youth can do for it. So exposure is there for wide range of topics from different types of speakers and experts. And there is sadhana, so there are spiritual practices. So one will learn yoga, one will learn puja, japa, meditation, havan, different spiritual sadhanas, solitude, one will have a very beautiful foundation in these 3 months where one learns to empower oneself. Now, we have seen that this 3 months where one empowers through this systematic program, the real growth happens when these 3 months are followed by the 9 months of service. One is posted to different places in the country, sometimes abroad also, and one serves what one has learned. One shares with the young people through school talks, college talks, conducting camps, having sessions for the children, taking regular weekly classes, Bal Vihar classes, Shishu Vihar classes, for small children. Shishu Vihar, can you imagine 2 years old to 5 years old? Lovely how they learn. It's such a joy to be with the small children. Then Bal Vihar, 5 years to 8 years, 9 years to 12 years. Then take up the sessions for teenagers who have very many questions, who have, sometimes they have a certain skeptic attitude also. So all that is a great challenge to reflect upon the knowledge one has had, learn to communicate it effectively, try to inspire young people to live this deeper way of life. And there's a great satisfaction in that. Vivekananda ji, he said, they alone live who live for the others. The rest are more dead than alive. They alone live who live for others. So first part of youth empowerment is you empower yourself. The second part is you empower others. And when that field is there, one can create the opportunities. The center also gives opportunities, but you also create opportunities by bringing out some new project, some creative idea, build a team together, work with an existing team if it is there in the center, inspire them to achieve something very noble. So there's a great satisfaction when we impart this knowledge. In our own way, one can do. Each one can do. It's not necessary everybody has to only speak. There are some people who can serve silently in a project. There are people who can take up some work in the center, some administrative work also one can take up. There are different ways to serve. Each one can serve in their own capabilities. So first part is 3 months of study and spiritual sadhanas, etc. Empower yourself. Then 9 months, one goes out and serves in different parts. And the next year there is the National Youth Convention. So the Yuvavir batch of this year will also organize the National Youth Convention. Last time when we organized the Youth Convention was in 2018. And so many speakers from across the country came, and we had about 700 youngsters at Chinmaya Vibhuti. There was Sushil Pandit who came and spoke about the issues in Kashmir. There were 2 Paramvirs. There are only 3 Paramvirs who are alive today, who have the Paramvir Chakra. So Captain Bana Singh ji, he came, and there was one more, I don't remember the name just now. Um, Two of them, they came and they spoke and they shared their experiences there. There was Sanjeev Sanyalji, who was a principal advisor to the economic advisor to the PM. He came and spoke about the history and what we need to do with our history. Different people from different backgrounds, they came, they shared so that the youth have a right vision. Yogendra Yadav ji, he came. He is the youngest recipient of Paramveer Chakra. 19 years old he was when he received that Paramveer Chakra. It's amazing how he fought for the country, and literally, if you listen to him, there's horripulations. So the next year the youth convention will happen. So again, the youngsters, youth empowerment program students get the opportunity to organize, to interact with these great masters, and to organize such a huge event itself is an experience which even many corporate institutions and business schools, etc., are not able to provide so easily. So one learns event management, time management, finance management, raising the resources, handling the people, everything from the scratch. Everything has to be planned creatively. What is the theme? What is the program? Just imagine the exposure that one gets. So through the service period, a lot of these beautiful opportunities are there to empower oneself, to share this with others, empower their lives. And it is also very important to understand that as young people, especially as Hindus, there is an urgent need for us to think beyond our life. What is happening in our country today to the Hindu culture and the existential threat that is there to our culture today, it is the youth who have to take that up. Otherwise, we will be a minority in this country, and very soon Hinduism will be, it will be extinct. Like today is the National Tiger Day. Tiger is an endangered species, and the moment one recognized it as an endangered species, so many efforts were put up, and now slowly, we are in a situation where there are good number of tigers who are there. So we say about save tiger, save rhino, save earth, save this planet, all that. But what about save the Hindu culture? The only culture which has survived more than 1200 years of attacks, invasions, colonialism, and still retained its culture is this beautiful, glorious Sanatan Dharma. Each of us are born in that. We have a duty to give back to that glorious culture. We have a Rishi Ran. So as Hindus, we have to think about that also. And we have a great debt and duty towards our country. When we say in the Upanishads, Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. These four are there. The fifth mantra is what we need today is Rashtra Devo Bhava. May the country be God to us. Each of us have to tighten up ourselves and become a positive, active contributor to this culture and this country. And the Youth Empowerment Program is a fantastic opportunity to learn about our culture, about our country, its real glory and greatness, and then go and share this with everyone. So that each of us give our contribution and our best to this process of nation building also, and to save our culture and to not only preserve it, but to practice and propagate it. So when we say I am a Hindu, so many of us are Hindus only by birth. We are not Hindus by belief. We are not Hindus by practice. We are not Hindus by our, pride and the feeling of I am a proud and practicing Hindu. How can one become that? So this youth empowerment program has all these wonderful opportunities, and 1 year, if you invest for yourself, one grows for life. Investment of 1 year for oneself is nothing much to ask for actually. To grow for life completely. Imagine this helps in the corporate experience or whatever career one takes up later on, in families, in relationships, in the future goals that one wants to achieve. In every aspect, this will help. So if someone feels that, 1 year of my time will go and, there will be a break in my career, don't worry, it is not a break. It is not some sabbatical. It is working very hard. And such people are in demand in so many places, in companies. If someone has dedicated 1 year of their life for this noble work of service, of dedication to the country, of inspiring lives, corporates want such people. Even if you decide to become an entrepreneur, do a startup, etc., it will help in all these aspects. So think about it, learn for 3 months, serve for 9 months, and grow for life. That is the vision behind this youth empowerment program. And I want to conclude by showing you a few small clips of Puja Gurudev and what he spoke about, what we really want to achieve. He gave this as a vision to the youth, to the chicks. When he was addressing, he spoke about this to the chicks, but it equally applies to all the youngsters and even for the youth empowerment. So that is what was a small clip. There were a little more, but I don't think the video will work. So the idea what Gurudev is saying is it is to create the leaders who have the vision, who are confident, who have the courage, and whose faith in themselves will not shaken no matter what circumstances and surroundings are there. And such leaders, when we create, then we will be able to rewrite the Indian history once again and bring back Bharat to what glory it had earlier and even rise further. So that is a vision of the youth empowerment program. We also have Swami Anukulananji with us. He is the national convener of All India Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, and this whole program is run by All India Chinmaya Yuva Kendra. So I request Anukulananji to share his thoughts, please.
Yes, Hari Om, Sundarji and Tariniji, Hari Om. Nice to see you in this Zoom meeting. So first of all, thanks to all of the alumni who have joined this meeting. We are very thankful that all of you accepted the invitation and you have joined. Thank you very much for that. Swami Swatmananji has very clearly presented the entire program to all of you. Swami Swatmananji and I were part of the Chinmaya Yuva Kendra in Chennai when we were in college. And the impact that it had on our lives was so great that we decided to take this as our lives work itself. So just imagine what kind of an impact it can create on us and what it has left us with. If you ask us, it has left us with a life of fulfillment. We feel amazing that our lives are dedicated to bringing some change, to improving things that we actually believe in our lives. Most of the times we want to bring change. Most of the times we wish some change happens. We want all of us want change to happen. And the youngsters are such people who have the courage to make the change happen. But however, that needs a little more time from you. Because when we give time to ourselves and when we work at it full time, the amount of effort that we can put in, the amount of transformation we can bring in is amazing. This program started in 2003. And when the program started in 2003, the entire course used to run for 2 years. One of the youngsters, his name is Pradeep. Today he is working with Amazon at a very, very high level. He is positioned in a very high level in Amazon. He reached almost more than 10,000 people directly in his work, more than actually 1 lakh people, not 10,000. he reached 1 lakh people as he was working for these 2 years. So like this, youngsters have reached so many people, and even today Pradeep feels I did something for my nation. He lost nothing in the process, but what he gained through that is a lifelong fulfillment. So not only Pradeep, like there's so many different people. In fact, Tarini is sitting here. Tarini ji is sitting here. She was part of the Chinmaya Yuva Kendra. She was part of the Yuva Veer program itself. So like this, so many different people, some people working with Chinmaya Mission now, some people doing very, very different, beautiful things. They have developed the courage to do what they are convinced by. There is one person by name, Rohini, a Malayali who lives in Chennai. A girl who was part of the Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, she did the Yuva Veer course. She took up yoga as her life. And today she runs what is called the Chennai studio. And hundreds of people are coming and learning yoga from her. She's a professional yoga teacher. And right now she's in Germany attending a course and learning more so she can come back and she can do more of it. She takes people to different destinations. And there she teaches them yoga, does amazing things. One young girl who's become an amazing entrepreneur. There is another girl, her name is Radha. She believes in our culture and she wants to bring this culture to youngsters. And she has started her own industry, her own enterprise she started. It's called a Guru Cool. In a cool way, how to bring Indian culture to youngsters, to children. And she's developed the whole thing. And now she is so popular on the internet. And she's making a difference through her life. And what she has contributed now is she has co-authored history books, which is now being taught in almost 20 schools, 40 schools actually, and which will eventually be taught in 20,000 schools. Now she's written history books and she's bringing a change by her work. Like this, if I keep narrating, you will find hundreds of youngsters who've gone through this course, who have understood their conviction, who developed the courage and are making a difference in today's world. There is another boy who did the course and he went on to do IRS, and today he is in the revenue department, and he says, Swamiji, we have brought down corruption by 60% in our department. See what an amazing change he's brought. Gurudev always said one thing. He said, in the youngsters is my hope. This is what Gurudev said. Because Gurudev knew the potential of youngsters. It is only for us to just take one little step. And don't worry, 1 year will just run away like that. In fact, this particular course is not even 1 year. This course is even shorter. So let us give that time and not be worried about what is going to happen. The best will happen. And we will have something to talk, something to feel great in our entire life by just giving this little time. We can make a difference. We will not be youngsters who will only wish for change, who will only want somebody to bring in the change, but we'll be youngsters who actually become the change makers. So there's a wonderful opportunity. Swami Swatmaniji himself is a great teacher. He will be teaching personally. And along with Swami Swatmaniji, different teachers from different fields, different achievers from different fields would be coming and meeting you. Swami Mitranji will be there, who's working at the international level as Swamis from the mission. And different, as Swami Swatmaniji mentioned. We will have different people from the best of fields coming and talking to us, coming and training us in different areas. So this becomes a fantastic, amazing experience. Today they talk about MBA, and every institute is proud that MBA is an immersive experience. We provide immersive experience. YEP is completely immersive experience to the level that you will not even imagine. It is so amazing. You will come out as transformed people. So we wish that you take this wonderful opportunity. First, remember, it is going to be your growth. Your transformation is going to happen in this very little time. And through your transformation, it will help and bring a lot of people to this idea of transformation and bring a change in this country. So we wish you take this opportunity to transform yourself and help transform many more youngsters in this country. Thank you very much once again for being here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share some ideas with all of you. Hari Om, Swatmananji, Sundarji, Hari Om, Tariniji. Thank you very much, and thank you very much all of you who've joined this meeting. Hari Om.
Pranam, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji. Swamiji, would you like us to play the video now or go to Q&A?
Yes. You can play the video, then we'll do the Q&A.
Okay, Arun, over to you. And I request others, all who are attending, to turn on their video now. As I suggested, could everyone turn on their videos? And we're now, Swamiji, can we go to Q&A now?
Yes, please.
Yes, and I have just done the setting where people can unmute themselves. Yes, Swamiji, you were going to say something?
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to make clear, that the whole program is conducted free of cost. So there is no fees or anything to be paid. Whoever is selected, they will do the entire program free. So just keep that in mind.
And the program is not just for fresh graduates. Anybody up to the age of 28 can apply.
Yes.
So, yes. And Swami Anukulananji, I wanted to add, there is one very successful Yuvavir I know in Singapore who's actually the founder of a very successful financial startup there and doing extremely well. So this is not meant to make you sannyasis. This is meant to make you extremely successful in life with the right way. So over to anyone who wants to ask a question. You can unmute yourself and put up your hand if you can. That'll be good.
Excuse me. I would like to know why this age limit of 28 is kept.
Because Chinmaya Yuva Kendra age group is 13 to 28. So that is why we have left it up to 28. If there is somebody who is a little elder, 29, 30, it's still all right. We can accommodate.
Swamiji, Dr. Ravindran is a ISRO scientist who's
Okay.
finished his master's at CVV and is doing his PhD now. So
Wonderful.
he's asking from his age group.
I find
We
the
have other
courses-
options for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Now you were saying you find the courses.
Go ahead, Dr. Ravindran. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I find it very, very interesting and very useful. And at least if I can have an experience of how it's going to be there, it can be whether I can get an opportunity to be there.
No, so you can visit as a faculty or as a guest visitor to see how the course is conducted, but the experience of going through it has to be, we will have to limit it to young people.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, Rajesh.
Harim Swamiji Pranam. So I had one question, like I have one friend, but he's not very fluent in English. Like preferred in a Hindi only. He can understand English, but he's not very fluently, and he wants to join. Like, is it possible he can join?
See, they have to be able to understand English properly. Speaking wise, if they are not very fluent in speaking, that is all right. But if they can't understand English very clearly, then we have to wait, because we are planning to do a course in Hindi also, maybe in a few months or by next year sometime it will be launched. So we have had Yuvaveers earlier who have been able to understand very well English, but they are not fluent in communicating. So that is all right, because what is important is, first aspect is, in the 3 months is to study well, understand well what is being shared. Then in the service period, one can definitely share that in Hindi in the areas where one is posted. So that is perfectly fine. But if there is a challenge in understanding English basically, then one should wait and do the Hindi course.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. What is the, as you had said, so he is able to understand well, he or she?
Actually, he can't understand that much. Like you can say, he's a beginner in English.
Then it is a challenge. So let him wait for the Hindi course then.
Sure, Swami.
Anyone else with a question? You're all able to unmute yourself.
I can see one or two of them. I remember they have applied for earlier batches, but they have not been able to join. So if there is an opportunity this time, do take it, because opportunities don't knock twice. And in your case, it is knocked, I think, twice or thrice. So maybe if you want to take it, do take it. And those who are here, also please share this, like Rajesh said. If you remember somebody or if you know somebody who can benefit, then you please share this information with others and let them please apply.
Thank you, Swamiji. And Bardo is our placement consultant, placement officer. Bardo, please feel free to share with any of the alumni or current students who reach out to you, current graduates who reach out to you.
Hariom Swamiji.
Hariom.
Swamiji, I will be very happy if we could get in opportunities for internship with also placement opportunities, Swamiji.
Placement opportunities in where? In All India Chick?
In the companies associated with CVV, in the various organizations associated with CVV. We already have one company, that is Little Things Asia. So the founder of the company is a disciple of Swamiji, and he has recruited one of our students. So actually we are very happy to associate with disciples who are also
so basically for the students of CVV, connect them to Gurudev's disciples who are having corporate startups, right? Or corporate companies. That's what you are meaning, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Got it. Now I understand.
Okay. Yeah, Bardo, we can talk of that offline. There are some plans already for that. Yeah.
There is one.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yes, Swamiji.
There is an education company called Easy Vidya. And Easy Vidya, The moment somebody has Yovir on their biodata, that's a confirmed appointment in Easy Vidya for them.
Yes.
They keep
And
looking
Srinath,
for people who have done the Yovir course.
yes, and Srinath is from there, came
Exactly.
via Easy Vidya, yes. If everyone's okay, Swamiji, then we can
Yes.
close to this.
Yes. Thank you.
Sanjeev, would you like to mention something about the venue also of the
Please.
course? Everyone knows CNBG, but they do not know that this YEP course will be conducted over there.
Tarini, you only go ahead and explain.
Okay. So all of us are aware of Chinmaya Nath Bindu Gurukul, which is at Chinmaya Vibhuti in Pune. And this is going to be the same venue where the YEP course will be conducted. The training part of the YEP course will be conducted there. If you would have seen, some of the pictures which were there in the video, there is a mountain right behind, and on 15th August, most of the YEP students, they have gone up that mountain and had a great adventure and hoisted the Indian flag over there, the national flag over there. So if you take this opportunity, yes, you are going to be one of those who are going to climb up, not just climb up that mountain, but climb up the ladder to success in your life. So do not miss this opportunity. It's once in a lifetime. Like Swamiji said, that 1 year that you invest for yourself is for life. And most of us, like myself, I had taken the third chance to join. The opportunity came twice. Third chance is when I went in, and never ever regretted the kind of experiences that we had, be it being playing roles in theater, writing books, working across India, meeting hundreds of youth and interacting with them, and feeling that inspiration day in and day out. This is what you will take, or what you will buy into by going in for this YEP course. So do not miss this opportunity. Do also, if you have friends who have not come in today for whatever reason, do tell them about this. We'll share the video also with you. And as Swamiji said, it is offered fully free of charge. And again, not to miss this opportunity. There's also going to be a wonderful conference which is going to be held, as Swamiji said, at the end of the year. And you will be the one who will inspire others to take on this step. So don't miss it. Yeah.
Thank you, Tarini.
Thank you, sir.
Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om